Hello, grade 7. This is Mrs. Lopez. We are in module 1, lesson 3 today, identifying proportional and non-proportional relationships in tables. Um, as we talked about it earlier in the lessons, to find out whether or not the relationship is proportional between two quantities, we are dividing one quantity by the other to find the unit rate. And if unit rate is the same number, that means that the ratios are equivalent and the relationship between the two quantities is proportional. So let's go into the example. You have been hired by your neighbors to babysit their children. You are paid $8 an hour. Complete the table relating your pay to the number of hours you worked. Okay, so remember, as I said earlier to you as well, we do not use addition or subtraction in proportional relationship. We only use multiplication and division. So we know that for every hour she works, you are working, you are paid $8 an hour. So for 1 hour, you are going to be paid $8. So we know that part. How do I find out how much money I'm going to be paid for 2 hours? We are not using addition, so we have to use multiplication, right? So if 1 multiplied by 8 equals 8, you can also multiply 2 by 8, 3 by 8, 4 by 8, 4.5 by 8, 5 by 8, 6 by 8, and 6.5 by 8. Go ahead and pause the video, do that multiplication, and let's compare the answers as we are both done. Okay, so you multiplied every number of hours worked by 8, and this is what you should have gotten. 8, 16, 24, 32, 36, 40, 48, and 52. Okay, so based on the table above, is the pay proportional to the number of hours worked? How do you know? Yes, the pay is proportional to the number of hours because every hour you're getting paid $8. The unit rate is the same. So we are writing the pay is proportional because every hour you are paid $8. Okay, moving on to the next exercise. For exercises 1 through 3, determine if y is proportional to x. The table, justify your answer. The table below represents the relationship of the amount of snowfall in inches in 5 counties to the amount of time in hours of a recent snowstorm. We need to find out if y is proportional to x. Since we are comparing y to x, we are going to divide y by x. So we will divide 10 by 2 and we will get 5. We'll divide 12 by 6 and we'll get 2. 16 will divide by 8 and we will get 2. 5 we will divide by 2.5 and we will get 2. And 14 we will divide by 7 and we will get 2. Okay, so all of our numbers the same except for the first one. Even if we have one number that is different from the rest, the relationship is not going to be proportional. The number has to be the same in all cases for it to for the relationship to be proportional. So the amount of snowfall is not proportional to the time. Is not proportional to time. And it does make sense because sometimes it snows more than other time, right? So let's say at 5 o'clock you will get 3 inches per hour, and at 6 o'clock you might get only 1 inch per hour, right? So it makes sense that the relationship in the snowfall is not proportional to time. Number two, the table below represents the relationship between the cost of renting a movie in dollars to the number of days the movie is rented. So we need to find out whether y is proportional to x, y to x. So we will divide y by x. We will divide 2 by 6, we will get 1/3. We'll divide 3 by 9 and we'll get 1/3. We'll divide 8 by 24 and we'll get 1/3. We'll divide 1/3, 1 by 3 and we will get 1/3. So what we get here is the cost in dollars. 1/3 of a dollar is about 33 cents for each day, right? So the relationship is proportional because every day we'll get 1/3 is about this squiggly line is 33 cents. Okay, so the relationship is proportional, or the cost is proportional, same unit rate. Okay, next one. The table below represents the relationship between the amount of candy bought in pounds and the total cost of the candy in dollars. Um, so again, we are finding the relationship between y to x. So we will divide cost in dollars by amount of candy. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 16 divided by 8 is 2. And 20 divided by 10 is 2 as well. So the relationship between um, the cost is proportional to the amount of candy. The cost is proportional to the amount of candy. Each pound costs $2, right? Each pound costs $2 because we are dividing dollars by pounds, right? So we get dollars per pound. Okay, and the last one here, number 4. Marissa is planning to drive from New Jersey to Florida. Every time she stops for gas, she records it in the chart below. Assume that the number of miles driven is proportional to the amount and the number of gallons of gas used, and complete the table. Okay, so we know here it's given to us that the number of miles is proportional to the number of gallons. So what we want to do is to find that unit rate by which uh, all the numbers are multiplied by, right? We need to make sure that we know the unit rate because that's what we are using. So first we want to find unit rate. Unit rate. Unit rate, either gallons per mile or miles per gallon. I would go with miles per gallon. In miles per gallon. Okay, and that will tell me how many miles I can drive with 1 gallon of gas, right? So I'm going to divide to find the miles per gallon. I'm going to divide miles by gallons. And so I will get, let's say this one easy because we both know both numbers here. 54 divided by 2 equals 27. So 27 miles for each gallon, right? So if I know that 2 times 27 is 54, I know what I can do to find the rest of it. So 4 times 27, this number was multiplied by 27 to get to 189. 8 times 27 should equal to 116. 10 times 27 and 12 times 27 to find the missing numbers. Okay, so first of all, let's check whether, well, actually, no, it is proportional. And I can tell because if I multiply 8 by 27, I will get 216, right? So I know that this number 27 works for every single one of here because the relationship is proportional, and I know it from the problem. So 4 times 27, so 7 times 4 is 28, and 8, so 108. Number was multiplied by 27 to get to 189. So what do I need to do to find the number here is to divide 189 by 27. And when I do it, I will get 7. This is the biggest mistake that people make while working on this problem is when they see this relationship here, 2, 4, 8, 10, 12, they would assume that this number is 6 because they were adding. But as I mentioned, we don't use addition in proportional relationship. We only multiply or divide. So it will be easier and better for all the problems if you use only multiplication or division. So that's how you will not make a mistake. Okay, 10 times 27 is 270, and 12 times 27 is 5, sorry, and 7 and 2, so 324. Okay, that is it for this lesson. If you have any additional questions, please address it right away. Don't procrastinate. Yeah, and otherwise I will talk to you in the next class.